go. Wing up. Lean back. Beautiful. Okay. Squeezing a flight out. A little bit rocky, a little bit gusty. Who cares? Anyway, I'm up here to talk about Rafa 40. Hashtag Rafa 40. Which is Giles Fowler and I planning to do fly over as many former or current RAF bases as we can as a sort of sponsored flight in aid of the RAF Association, Rafa. I have got serious problem with my wing. I need to land and sort that out immediately. What the hell has happened there? Back in a minute with take 2. Brakes are okay. It looks like my tip steering line. Right, let's get this on the ground. Very curious. Don't panic, Mr. Mannering. How did I not spot that? It's very strange. It doesn't even feel like there's anything wrong. It's just I happened to look up. Bad drills. Bad drills. I've got the flags on that hut giving me wind direction. I've got my sock giving me wind direction. None of them agree. That is very strange. I'm unsure whether there is actually something tangled or it's just my tip steering line wrapped round stuff and that it might come off if I gave it a tug, but not sure. Either way, let's get down and check it out. Okay, we're off. Trees. Nicely into wind. Come down. No brakes yet. No brakes yet. And gently. Oh, that was sexy, despite the fact there's a problem with my wing. I'll keep the camera rolling for this and we'll see if we can work out what's happened. I kited that. It looked fine. Annoying. I'm almost expecting it to be gone when I do this. But I could be wrong. It's happened before. God only knows. Okay, right, that's a twig that wasn't there. A's clear to the leading edge. That A is clear to the leading edge. It is gone. So it probably would have come out if I'd have just given the tip steering line a good tug. Wait for that to pick up and then I'll pull it out. Said the vicar to the actress. That'll do. Okay, now that looks okay. Oh, it's quite strong. So, where was I? Oh, Giles's records, yeah. Giles Fowler off of coast to coast, 300 miles in one hit. Took off on a very windy day with a Bailey with an extra fuel tank on. And did it all in one go, coast to coast. He also holds the British record for altitude, 21,746 feet. If my notes are correct. And the RAF Association is a charity that just supports the RAF family. That's serving members of the RAF, of which both my parents were. Giles is. And they also support veterans and wives of veterans, you know, widows on occasion. just an all-round good charity. So as you saw in the intro, Giles I've met Giles for 10 minutes at a fly-in, as far as I remember. I might have been drunk or I might have had a hangover, one of the two. And he got in touch afterwards. I'd mentioned that I wanted to fly down to RAF Holton, where my dad runs the RAF Association Club on the airfield, which is just a bar where members and veterans can go for a very, very, very cheap pint and listen to my dad pull up the sandbag and tell stories. So it was just this very basic idea, and obviously the first stage then is to find a load of former and current RAF bases. And if you're looking for a lot of those all in one place, then Lincolnshire is where you go, often referred to as RAF Lincolnshire, because there's quite a concentration of current bases there. But during the war, there were lots and lots. So I found a list and found out that there were 65 former bases. That's not counting the current ones in Lincolnshire. So I began by finding all of those on Google Maps, painstaking work, piece by piece. If they have a recognisable remnants of an airfield, archaeological dig here, so really looking for more Roman remains in this valley. So if they had like visible remnants of an airfield, then I plotted them on a map and ended up with this map. I mean, all the way down through Lincolnshire, Northamptonshire, Bedfordshire and Buckinghamshire, to give us a decent sort of swath of bases to choose from. And it gave us loads, so all we had to do was basically pick a meandering route south from Humberside all the way down to Holton in Buckinghamshire. So first thing was, this is back in late October last year. We both met in Swindon. Giles and I live about 5 or 6 hours apart in the UK, so we met down in Swindon, which is about halfway, for a burger and a chat. I went through, vague beginnings of plans. It's more an endurance and navigation test than anything else. Oh, it's rocky up here. So the main problem is this area of Lincolnshire. There are 5 current bases there, all with big chunks of military airspace, all very busy bases, and all the airspaces sort of overlap. The whole area is marked down on the charts as AIAA, Area of Intense Aerial Activity. At the top there you've got Scampton, RAF Scampton, which is the base of the Red Arrow display team. So when they're in the UK, they're normally practicing there if they're not displaying somewhere. Below that we've got Waddington, which is another busy logistics base, I think, for the RAF. Lots of giant transport planes and stuff go out of there. Also all the surveillance stuff, the AWACS type planes, all come out of there. Below Waddington you've got Cranwell, which is the Officer Training College, and also Officer Flying Training, so that is a busy airfield as well. Just to the south of Cranwell you've got Barkston Heath, which is a training base for Navy and Army pilots, the Naval Aviation bit and the Army Air Corps. So again, that could be quite busy. And over to the right there you've got Coningsby, which is the base for the QRA, the Quick Reaction Alert, which are the Typhoons that are constantly ready, pilots constantly dressed, sat there waiting as soon as the bell goes off, because there's a Russian plane in our airspace. They're the ones that go up to sort of wave at the pilot in all reality, I should imagine. So this is the problem. A lot of the bases we want to get to are in or around this area of intense aerial activity. So we had to, well, we didn't have to, we were invited to attend an LAUG, Local Area Users Group meeting, which is held up at RAF Cranwell. And that is attended by people from all 5 of those RAF bases, also civvies from local glider clubs, anyone who's got an interest in the airspace or lives in it or wants to use it or fly in it. So they have these meetings fairly regularly to sort of identify problems coming up and work out deconflictions and stuff like that. So we went up there. Giles did a little presentation just to say who we are, what we were doing, and can we fly through all this airspace. Technically, we don't have to ask permission. We can go over all that airspace at 3,000 feet, but as one of the guys from, I think the guy at Scampton said, I'd rather you were in my airspace and I knew you were there than you were just outside it and I didn't know you were there. So everyone at that meeting seemed pretty cool with it, apart from the guy from Coningsby. He's obviously got a serious job, and he doesn't want us anywhere near Coningsby, which is okay because we don't need to go anywhere near Coningsby. It'll be quite nice to be flying over. There's the QRA jets left, but that's a sort of, you know, that could stay on the wish list. So the upshot of this meeting and meeting those people meant that we could sort of plan in Scampton, RAF Scampton, as a refuelling stop, which would be very cool. Land at an RAF base. The Red Arrows are in Greece at the moment, rehearsing or practicing or whatever they do, and they are coming back at some point. So we have to have a contingency for Scampton. If there's no conflict with the Reds, either they're there but they're not in the air and we can get in, then that's fine. If they are there, they're not going to be displaying, but it's very probable they will be rehearsing over the airfield, and when they're up, the airspace grows. They put out a bigger airspace and they rehearse over the airfield apparently. So I do have a dream of being at 3,000 and the Red Arrows passing between my feet in a diamond formation with all the smoke on, all the pilots waving upwards at me. That will probably stay on the wish list as well. If the Reds are about, we have to have a contingency. We can't go to Scampton and we have to land to refuel outside somewhere, some random field or something like that. So the general premise of the route is take off at RAF Gox Hill, which is remnants of an airfield right up there on the Humber, and then fly down over the course of a day to our RAF Sywell, which is now Sywell Aerodrome, which is local to me. You've seen me fly over it and around it a couple of times in past videos. It's not far from here at all, over in that direction. Overnight at Sywell, it's a nice airfield there. They've got a hotel we can stay in. We've spoken to them, they're cool with us landing there. And then the next morning, take off, hit a bit of Bedfordshire over in that direction, some old RAF bases there, a couple of which you've seen before. And then head down into Buckinghamshire, meander around all the bases down there, and land at Holton, and have a beer in Dad's club. Should be good. So I'm kind of liking this because, obviously, as I said, my dad runs the base at Holton. My dad runs the club at Holton, so that's a nice place to land. He's also the chairman of the RAFA down there, so I'm hoping he'll pull some strings and get some like press in or something like that to see us land. But Sywell up here, where we're planning to overnight, was where Mrs. Paramotor and I got married, or had our wedding reception anyway. And Holton is also, not only does my dad run the club down there, but that's also the base where I was born. There used to be a big hospital on the base there, RAF Hospital, and I was born in that. So it's got some sort of like personal connections, this flight, and it all started from me just wanting to fly from here down to Holton. Giles had an idea. I think Giles was thinking like 20 bases or something, but I plotted them all. I thought, right, we could do 40 here, no worries. So we've got contingencies. If we have to miss one further up the route, then we can add other ones in as we come down, just make slight detours to chop in another one. The vast majority is going to be flying over them and looking down like this at an airfield, or the remnants of one, marking it off the list and moving on. And a few of them will be landing out, obviously. We're going to have ground support in the form of Andy Greaves, who you will have seen in some of my earlier videos. He's got a van, so we're going to fill that with stuff. It looks like Pagett are on board with giving us a load of spares on a sort of just in case basis. Hopefully we can get another motor as well if they've got a spare motor knocking around. So chuck that in the back of the van just in case, hopefully not used. Hopefully we won't need anything out of the stuff that Pagett are going to give us. Possibly going to give us. I don't know if that's sorted yet, but hopefully we won't need any of it, but it's all just spares and stuff. So we've got final confirmation from the wing commander who runs the LAUG meeting up in Lincolnshire. Most of it seems okay. We just need to put in a sort of finalised route and plan. and then wait for the weather. We've got 3 or 2 weather windows in January, February, March, April this year, 2019. So look at all those horses on my landing spot. You guys. So Giles going to put together the final route. It's going to look something like this on your screen now. Will be trackable on Live Track 24, I think the name of the site is. There'll be links to that in the future, so people can, if they're so inclined, not do any work and sit watching a screen of our dots moving. Hopefully we get Andy on the tracker as well, so you can see the route he's taking on the ground. We need to plan the route for Andy as well as for Giles and I in the air. Andy's route with petrol stations and things in, he's going to need to pick up supplies, etc, etc. There'll be a Just Giving link where people can go and drop a couple of pounds, stick a £5 in it or something like that, good cause, yada yada. The Giles is going to get this final route all together, work out all the contingencies, sort of refuelling stops before and after the planned stop, just so that we can adjust things as we go if needed. Giles is airband user, so he'll have his radio, he'll do all the talking to any other people we need to speak to, any of those air traffic controls. There's RAF ones, there's Civvy ones, there's Humberside Airport is on the list. We need to go there, we need to speak to all those people. There has been a constant string of official looking emails, very well written, between lots of everything from RAF bases, wing commanders at RAF bases, right down to people who run gliding clubs and things like that. Everybody's been really good. Everyone said, yeah, as long as we know, you can come in here and do what you need to do. Let Andy scream onto the airfield in his van, get refueled, have a quick cuppa, take off again. I need to sort out the hotels en route. A hotel for the night before up near Gox Hill. Travel up on day 1, launch on day 2, fly on day 3 and land, and then day 4 all travel home from Holton. So there's a few hotels to sort out. What else have I got to do? I've spoken to a fishing company, you know, somebody who runs a sort of fishing lake there on Gox Hill, and they've said we can take off from this little triangle, which is right in the centre of the airfield, which is an absolute result. Really pleased about that. Yeah, I reckon I could drop in there near those pylons, go along there, all the way over that little bridge, all the way back down there to the far end. I just can't make it round that bend because there's some trees there, so I've almost got a circuit I can do. But anyway, so that's the Rafa 40, hashtag Rafa 40 flight that will be coming up at some point. That and the Icarus are my 2 main projects at the moment, but I'm having to sort of concentrate on the Rafa flight because it's happening first. Oh, it's gusty. Right, I've had my time up here. I'm going to get down. They've got their plane in the air. So stay tuned for stuff on that. There might be another video before we do it, but otherwise it'll be I don't know, probably 2 or 3 vlogs of that whole flight. Yeah, maybe day 1 and 2 and then day 3. There's the little plane. Okay, they're really responsible, sorted guys, so they will have noted my tick over and realise that I'm going into land to get out of this gusty crap. Let's put this seat away. Yeah, the wind's getting quite strong. I'm going to try and land between horses here. Stay tuned. Horse action. I might go and scare them off. Yeah. Maybe not, I can come in, it's a strong wind. Oh, it's mucky, absolutely mucky. In between the horses, engine off. Right, behave yourselves boys. Oh, this is beautiful landing, I'm hardly moving. And oh, I hope that camera over there was watching that. Get down, get down, get down. There was literally just a plop onto the ground. That's the first time that's happened to me. So this is probably the strongest wind I've flown in. Love it. Right, that was worth it. I need to get packed up and go and shoot some video of electric guitars being made. I got a little camera on here. I hope it caught that landing. Please tell me you're still recording. Please, 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 please. Yeah, it looks like it is. Beauty. Right, Rafa 40. There'll be a Just Giving link. Let's go and do a fun flight and raise some money, hopefully. See you next time.